Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
What you just saw is a snapshot of what unfolded at the Frank Cullimer Hall recently for the National Youth Awards. There are winners across our island, the young people who are doing tremendous things. And so those tremendous things were recognized at the National Youth Awards. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, are we thrilled to know that one who has been with us, and literally from a little girl up to now, a big grown woman, is the recipient of the Phoenix Award in Lashley. And so we're happy to have you, Ashley. Good morning and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You have a little baby next to you.
Yeah, for sure. It's a whole person.
Indeed. And so we're also with us this morning, Donicia Mears, who is the PR and marketing consultant in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment. Donicia, good morning to you as well.
Good morning.
Congratulations. It's all over now.
Yes. It was a wonderful event. I think it was excellent. I enjoyed every bit of it. And that was the feedback that we heard from a lot of the awardees, a lot of the attendees. It was an excellent show.
Nice. That's really good to hear. Give us the rationale behind hosting the National Youth Awards.
Okay, so we didn't have it for a couple years. So we started back in 2022, I believe. And we just want to celebrate the young people. We want to give them their flowers. We wanted to ensure that they are celebrated for the work that they put in. A lot of times young people are doing stuff, they're doing their work, and it goes unrecognized, right? Things is hard out there, trying to put things together, work, do your projects and stuff like that. You encounter a lot of obstacles, and sometimes it's just good to have that recognition, knowing that somebody is looking on and seeing that you are doing good things. So we are bringing back the National Youth Awards, and we're hoping that as years go by, we have more persons nominated, and more young people recognized for their hard work.
And you're quite right, because oftentimes they're just doing the work, not looking for reward or recognition. They're just doing their work. But to know that someone took the time to think of you, to nominate you, to collate the information about you, to support that nomination, must mean so much even to begin with. So right away you begin to feel yourself a winner. Knowing that someone saw me.
And sometimes that's all it takes. All it takes to keep going.
Exactly. And so that's what you do. You're giving opportunity for young people to be recognized, but also encouraging other people, young people, to keep going. Because next time it could be you. And the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment wants to say to all the young people, indeed, keep doing well what you're doing. Because while you may not necessarily be the recipient of an award, but just mere mention of that puts you in the spotlight. And being in the spotlight really for something positive is exactly what we want happening for young people every single day. And so the ultimate award, which is the Phoenix Award, and when you think of the Phoenix, you think of the person or that entity that really rises beyond the ashes, who looks at everything around them and sees opportunity, who looks at everything around them and don't see despair, but to see the possibilities that flow therefrom. That's Ashley Lashley. Ashley, talk to me a little bit about one, knowing that you were nominated to start with, and then what it felt like sitting in the hall and waiting.
Well, before I get there, Pearson, I must say you're a poet this morning.
Waxy warm, girl.
But being nominated for the Phoenix Award indeed has been an honor. And as I look at this award, I remember there is a Swahili saying that goes, "Ndio," and that means yes to life. And you know, throughout my entire journey, when I started the Schools Against Non-Communicable Diseases at age 16, I even wrote a column yesterday in Nation newspaper asking why me.
Yes.
And over the years, being presented with all of these opportunities, I often used to question, why am I being afforded these opportunities? And then someone there to me said that you don't question God. So I stopped doing that, and I just recognized and understood that clearly it's my purpose and it's my destiny. So when I was nominated, it was a humbling experience because all of the work that I do is for the empowerment of young persons on social and environmental issues, and I'm never looking for a reward. Where I grew up, I've saw and interacted with many young boys and young girls who have been stigmatized based on where they come from and don't know where to access opportunities. So in creating the Lashley Foundation, with our primary focus being youth engagement on climate change and health, we wanted to take that a step further to show young persons that anything is possible. You know, I believe that any challenge can be solved, and I think that when there's a will, there is a way.
Of course.
And I think through the Lashley Foundation, empowerment of young persons is key towards any achievement within their life. And a lot of young persons today don't feel seen. And as a young person myself, engaging with young persons, even in my role as CARICOM Youth Ambassador through the Growing Tomorrow's Harvest Project, interacting with the young boys at Gratley Adams School and just like relating to them on their level, and allow them to know that in agriculture there's money to be made and that they just have to be passionate about something. You may not have the answer today, but I think throughout the last 9 years of my activism journey, one thing that I've learned is that because I don't know the answer today, that doesn't mean that I need to give up.
Yes.
Maybe along the way I'll discover what that answer is, and I'll take all of those tools and make it into something that is relatable to my passion and my destiny. So that's the message that I try to relate to many young persons. So I would say the Phoenix Award, I mean, I know I've been doing a lot of work. A lot of persons ask me how I get it done. I still don't know how to answer that question. But I think it's a way to show young persons that anything is possible. And you, based on where you come from, based on where you want to go, never be distracted. Always be passionate about what you want to do, and don't let somebody tell you no, you can't do anything. Be brave enough and confident enough to tell persons that you can, because along my journey of advocacy and activism, many persons look at me and say, well, you're so young, how you expect to get that do? And I love when somebody tells me no, and
yes.
I think that's the power and the passion in me. When someone tells me no, I need to show them that I can get it done. So with the Phoenix Award, I'm hoping that I can ignite fire within many young persons who can believe that all possibilities are endless.
Anything is possible indeed. And so I keep going back to that song in my head, Impossible. Sorry. Now, you sat in the Frank Cullimore Hall. There are other nominees other than yourself, and all of them have been doing phenomenal work. And so little Lashley's name was also mentioned.
Yeah.
But while sitting there, you're doubting, I'm sure, for a little moment.
For sure.
So talk to me about that. Yeah, talk to me about that.
So honestly, when I received the invitation as one of the nominees for the National Youth Awards, I was like checking social media all the time, the TV Youth page, to see who were the other nominators. And I remember sitting there in the room, seeing the list go by and acknowledging the incredible work that other young persons are doing. I'm like, man, this is going to be a big one. They might not choose me because I always hear the name Lashley before. So I was like, man, it could be cool if somebody else win. I'll congratulate them, etc. But then when I heard my name, I was shocked. But honestly, it was just a recognition and a reminder that within the youth space, I'm not the only one who is doing amazing things. And the other nominees also were highlighted. And the fact that they were also recognized on the day must be commended by the Ministry of Youth. And being able to engage with them after the National Youth Awards, I think that's amazing. Many young persons also came up to me and said, Ashley, you're my idol. I've been following your journey. I want to know how to start a foundation, how you've gotten that far. So I made it based on the National Youth Awards and what it represents. I think it truly shows young persons that anything is possible. And there are multiple young people in Barbados that are doing amazing things. And persons are seeing them, as Donica said, and they just need to continue.
We shall continue right after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and...
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
23 minutes after 7 o'clock now as we continue to bask in the brilliance of our young people indeed. And there are tremendous young people out there in our society who are doing things to make a big benefit to our community, not just to self. And it's that selflessness that I think we all see, and when we do see it, we nominate them. And so many were nominated for this year's National Youth Awards, but there could only be one winner in each of the categories, and there were several categories. We are happy to have this with us this morning, the recipient of the Phoenix Award, the ultimate award in Ashley Lashley of the Ashley Lashley Foundation. But Donicia Mears, who is a PR and marketing consultant in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Development, I have to get that right, because this changed so much a lot, indeed. Yes. You know, knowing that it came off so well, knowing that so many hundreds of young people were nominated, and knowing that you could only choose one, I know that makes it very difficult for you.
It really did. Even at the award ceremony, I think just sitting down there, listening to see who would win, because as Ashley said, you know, the competition in some of the categories were really tight, and I was just like, who is going to win? So I think that was one of the things to highlight. As Ashley said, also it just showed you that a lot of young persons are doing exceptional work, and it is great that we can nominate them, we can highlight them, and just give them the time to shine.
Yeah, and they need the time to shine.
Yes.
So you know how it is on Morning Barbados. We do exceptional youth.
Yes.
Because for us, we have the same point of view.
Yes.
We need to let them shine. We turn the light on the darkness, and darkness flees from it.
That's true.
And so in turning that light on the darkness, we turn on to the brilliance of our young people.
Yes.
And we create a far more wholesome and positive society, and that's what you do at the ministry.
Yes,
and so I know that a little later, while we're featuring Ashley today, and over time I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we'll bring some of the others.
Yes, you'll be seeing them throughout the course of this week and early into early next week.
Great, but tonight?
Yes, we have Bridges, and that is at 8 o'clock, and you'll be able to see some of the highlights of the National Youth Awards, some interviews, and just how persons thought it went, and just some highlights of the show. Also, we will be airing the show on CBC very soon, so you could look out for that as well.
Right. So you'll see the full National Youth Awards on TV very soon, but tonight in Bridges, you get a good sense from the recipients, how they felt, the work that they're doing, the things that they're thinking of doing, and their passion. Because their passion is so inspiring. You know, Ashley caused me pause when she started to talk a little bit about what she does and how people are inspired by what she does. And I'm sure a number of you feel equally the same. And so that's what we want to have for our young people. Sometimes we look around and we think, what to do next? But then we see them and we think, wow, that needs to be told, and that's what we want. And so Patricia Bell is saying, Lashley, my dear, you are a great inspiration to the youth all around you. And so she's even seeing you becoming the next you were from there. But that is good, and that's the purpose of the National Youth Awards, for people to see them, to see that these young people could be the next leaders,
to see the potential, for sure.
And so that's what the ministry does. Congratulations from Marcia Rock to you, Ashley Lashley.
Thank you.
I mean, people love you, Ashley, naturally, to start with, and we know how life is.
Apparently, I'm a likable person.
Maybe because that's what it is. Maybe because it's the work that you do too. And so, what's next? I'll ask you what everybody probably asks you all the time anyway, which is what's next for Ashley? What flows from the head of Ashley into the heart of Ashley to come through the mouth to say, this is what I want to do next?
She be piercing according to the young person. Portrait today.
Tell you.
But what's next for me? I have no idea, if I'm being honest. I told someone up to yesterday, I no longer plans anything in my life. Because whenever I say I want to do X, God said, no, Ashley, I'm taking you on a different path. So I'm no longer planning anything career-wise. I'm open up to all opportunities. But next for me is the Carrie Festa Youth Village. I'm the youth coordinator for that. So I'm working with a great team to see how many young persons can be engaged on culture and art. So that's my next avenue. And then later in the year, the Lashley Foundation is celebrating 5 years this year. So we're doing the Barbados Youth Climate Action Summit. When we did it 2 years ago, we had over 800 youth participating. So this year we're looking to triple those numbers for our 5th year anniversary. And we'll have students marching for climate action.
And tomorrow and Friday.
Oh yeah, and tomorrow and Friday there's the Small Island Future Festival as well at UWK. Feel free.
So you had to be ready of that. As you said earlier at the beginning, you said, you no longer make plans. Yolanda Adams has a song called If God Says Yes. Only if God says yes, I'll make my move.
I should listen to that.
And so as I heard you, I heard that in my head. And because it's so true, we can plan all we want. But when God says yes is when that plan happens. And so I'm glad you're obedient to that, indeed. And it's that obedience that really leads you to the success that you're experiencing even now at this stage and much more in the future. And that's what I'm sure, Denise, you want for all young people, again, to acknowledge that there is another power that exists alongside you. And if you root yourself in those realities, the great things will grow therefrom. And so the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment continues to create that fertile field from which that will grow. And Ashley said, Lord, the poetry is really deep. So remind folks again, tonight.
Tonight, this is at 8 o'clock p.m. sharp. You're going to have Bridges, and this will feature, all the work that the ministry is doing as it relates to the youth and so on, but you will see highlights from the National Youth Award. You will hear some of the testimonials and how persons felt at the National Youth Awards. So I encourage you to join us and tune in.
Indeed, and look up soon, coming up to TV8, the full National Youth Awards as we celebrate the excellence of our young people in Barbados. So to each of you recipients and to all of you nominees as well, congratulations. Congratulations. Well done, thou good and faithful servants. Enter. And I want to wish you all did well. So thank you so much, Donicia, and thank you, Ashley, as well. Keep doing well what you do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're taking a break right here. We're back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.